This is Hardesty, trying to do a meeting with my dad to talk about the Bible study app. Hey, Dad. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, it shows your microphone is off. Is that something I? Okay. Can you get your microphone on? Or your video on? Are you on? Are you on your computer? It's basically a Bible study.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, can you see me?
I can't see you, but do you want to be seen? I mean, oh, there's just something I want to show you. Or is a discussion, but if you want to be seen, that's fine. If that doesn't work out, that's fine too. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, Dad.
Range. Hi. What's happening in your world?
I got.
I read your proposals, all the plans, scenarios for the zits.
Oh, Zita.
Zeta, yeah, yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, I've actually, I got a friend that helped me develop it, and I looked in, and I actually, a Wednesday, I talked to a friend of mine who's a, financial planner
Uh-huh.
and stuff, and I asked him the question, is there any like securities issues with this? And he kind of says, yeah, maybe to check with the lawyer or something like that. That because using the cryptocurrency, even though it's a stable coin, that might be getting into some dicey area.
Uh-huh.
And so actually I took a total pivot for the MVP and I totally removed the stable coin underpinnings for it
Uh-huh.
and just made it into and just to do an MVP, just we're developing a simple app that's like it's gonna have tokens that you can buy and sell still.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna be more like a chat that allows you just to exchange tokens.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of like a lot simpler. It removes a lot of stuff and just to test out the concept.
So what the advice I would give to when I was doing this with the R&D group was you have your hypotheses now. You got a good idea. Makes
Mhm.
lots of sense. So now you got to do a proof of concept. Get a few people together and try it, and simulate it.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I mean by MVP.
No,
Oh, MVP, minimum viable product.
okay,
So that's like we created an act. My friend, he just was. Are you familiar with vibe coding?
a little bit.
Yeah, it's like so he's a professor at Colorado Christian University for IT.
Yeah.
Um, and he's playing around with vibe coding because pretty much you can like just give it with this AI stuff. You can just like give it a few prompts and it'll create the whole application for you.
No, I'm talking about the idea of having the community get together. The overriding idea of getting people
Oh yeah,
sharing that. So
yeah. So we're actually creating an app
yeah,
that they can load on their phone and start it.
yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're just going to like make something usable. So and I can just invite people into it, and then they can start participating. So that's it. We're going to do like a real-time test, just with some of the basic concepts.
Before you do it with software, can't you just do it with a telephone and get a group together and see what they would how they would work?
The vibe, I'm saying with the vibe coding, we can actually go. I mean, my friend, like I gave him the stuff and he did like it took like 15 minutes for it to create it.
Okay.
And so it's like, I'll send it to you, but I mean,
did I say try it with a few people and then you'll keep evolving it.
Yeah, basically that's what I want to do is like, we're going to create it, get it to just the minimum stuff we can do with it. And then I could share that with other people.
Yep.
And see what happens.
Yep. So I what the cycle that I had to go through many times with R&D departments is just that. You start with a proof of concept, and then you go to a pre-production prototype, and then you go to a prototype, and you do all this before you spend a lot of money.
Well, that's it with this AI stuff.
Yeah.
We're just doing that 100 times faster.
Yeah.
I mean, and very, very little expense. We haven't put any, if we just put our time into it, we haven't spent any money to get something viable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really wild.
It sounds like a idea that might work out. So you just got to go through the steps and see what happens.
Yeah. And we're doing like very, it's our time, very little time, very little risk right now. And, if it turns out, then we'll go to the next step. If it doesn't, then we'll pivot. And just like I took this like pivot from because my friend, he said, oh yeah, I can do this, Tim, but the whole thing about doing crypto and blockchain, that's a whole different area.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And then also then the security stuff, it seemed like that was getting in there, and even doing, and then the investors, and so then, and for crowdfunding.
You're a long ways away from that.
What?
You're a long ways away from that.
Yeah, but also you're familiar with crowdfunding and crowdfunding laws. You know, they allow people to invest basically in Colorado up to like $5,000, and they could be a non-certified investor, type thing. And so I threw that into the chat bot that created all of that to say, hey, how would this? What are the limits I have to keep under the radar for security and all these other violations? And so I was able very quickly to just like, when I heard about that, redo it all to make it something a little different, but still keep the same concepts. But it was cool that, you know, anyways, that's another thing. But this is something else that I have that's more real, I guess. I have like a real customer.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this organization called Emmaus Journey, and they are basically they do Bible studies. They encourage people to do small group Bible studies. And the founder of it, he's been going to our church. He's probably the same age as you. He's just retiring, but he actually was a Protestant that converted to Catholicism like 20 years ago, and so he has a lot of language, and so he's written these like Bible studies that have like in the Catholic Church we have a set of readings.
Now you've got a whole thing that you're presenting here now to me. You've got a whole bunch of stuff on your screen.
Oh, okay. Are you seeing what's on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Journey to Essential Living cover?
Yes, that's part of it.
Yeah.
So this is the organization. They're called Emmaus Journey, and they basically what they're doing now is they have this. This is like a Bible study book.
Yeah.
It has like 10 Bible studies in it with this is all the front matter. Then they get into a Bible study. And it's the front matter for the leader, how to do it. And then it gets into each study. This is a crude one. This is like from a while ago. Each study is like a particular scripture or topic. Session 1. It talks about it and has some questions and activities to do with each Bible study. Another thing he does is like every Sunday, there's a what I'm showing here is a he has a reflection he does on the Sunday readings.
Okay.
And then because in the Catholic Church in the Catholic Church our readings, you know, they have a prescribed list of readings, you know, for every day.
Okay.
And it's actually a 3-year cycle. So and they always on Sundays though they always every day there's a reading from the gospel, and then it starts off there's a first reading, a second reading, and then there's always a gospel reading every day.
Okay.
And and that's what you do every Sunday, and then for a daily masses Monday through Saturday, you know they sometimes just only do the gospel reading for shorter masses or something like that. So the church as a whole, like a 3-year cycle that they do this on that repeats. And so he's done with these Sunday reflections, he's done a full 3 years worth of readings, reflections. Then he has some questions on each of the readings. A Q&A, and it's good to use to like lead a small group with. So you can do this, you can take this in a small group and just instead of writing it down, you can do it in a small group or things like that.
I've been to several books like that. That's common.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very familiar with the format. Yeah. And yeah, but and actually the way they're distributing these, distributing these is they're just giving out the PDFs for free on the website of the readings. And they have it, and there's like a different translations of the Bible. There's basically a Catholic, he does it one with the Catholic translation of the Bible, and then he has another one that's a non-Catholic, a Protestant version. And I think each of those there's a Spanish version.
Yeah.
And so they're just like so they're able to kind of like track the number of downloads that happen for them all. And some people just take them and download them and print them out. They don't know who's doing it. They print them out, take a leader, and I guess there's even like a little contingent that this Emmaus Journey. There's a huge number of people in Indonesia are really using it as. There's a church group there that's using it as their core material. And so I guess roughly it sounds like they think they have like 30,000 people around the world that are reading these.
Okay.
And so they asked me to, they have like basically like a monthly version of this that they publish, they print. And they want to, and they're giving out those for free. They don't charge for those. And it's grown. And now it's like, used to just be like 100 they'd be giving out a month, and now they're getting up to the level of like 500 a month.
Okay.
And it just was like the leader is just like printing it out himself and folding it and sending it to them, type thing. And now that's getting more volume. That's just not a good use of their time to do that. And so even doing the layout and design, it's getting more sophisticated and things like that. And so they've asked me to help out with doing the layout and design for these books.
Yeah.
For these. So then I was talking to him, the founder, the one who's the main author of these things, and I learned more about how did he compose these studies. And this one doesn't show as much, but there's a whole, I don't know if you can quite see it on the camera, so I don't have to, but there's a reading, a scripture reading.
Yeah, that's all out of focus what you're holding up, but I can see what's on your screen.
So there is this doesn't have, let me see if I can, give me a minute, I can find, okay, this is like the journal version, which has lines in it.
Yeah.
So this has, and you see it's dated for certain dates.
Sure.
And so here's the front matter. Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid one, but each telling you how to read it. But here's like the reflection for Sunday readings. It's dated, has an introduction to it here, and then it has the reading,
okay,
the actual scripture, and then this is the journal version, so there's a place to write down your thoughts. It kind of goes through that. The responsorial reading, the second reading, and a place to put down your thoughts. Questions. Then we have the big gospel reading. Same thing. There's the actual scripture and questions to ask. So you do that for every Sunday. It's all dated for it. So this is the journal type version of it. Then it gets into like each day. It simply just shows what the readings are. Okay. The first reading, the psalm, and the gospel message. And on some days we have feast days for saints. So this one happened to be Memorial St. Elizabeth of Hungary Religious. And there's not one there. It just shows that, the counting system. This is in the Catholic Church. We have Advent, ordinary time, which is what we're in now. We're going to be going into Lent. And then Easter. Those are the 4 seasons of the Catholic Church. So it's like this for a few pages. Then it gets back to the reflection for the next Sunday. Okay. So they asked me just basically do all the layout and design for this. And I heard they even talking to it. Sometimes they print it out and they enlarge it because there's like a few guys that they're with seniors. They want a large print edition, so they print it out larger. Or like I'm part of a men's group, and sometimes people show up and they don't have the printout for it, or the leader sometimes will print them out for them and have it there. And then sometimes even like today, I went and I didn't have it, and so I just went and downloaded and looked at it on the phone on my website. But it was just a PDF, so it wasn't very well formatted on my phone. So anyways, so that's what the product is. So I'm changing it around. So I thought, what if I create an app that still allows the leader to create their own Bible study? Okay. Mm-hmm. So they log into it and they can create a new, and this is like, can I put the concepts and I use the AI to create this workflow chart? They go in there and they can see existing studies or duplicate other studies they've already done. I'll kind of skip this part here, but then this is like the builder workspace. What they can do here on the left side are the tools. And so they could drag the scripture here. Okay. And grab it here. And then when they select the scripture, they can just type in what are the verses I want it to show. And they can pick which version of the Bible it's from. Okay. Or I can say, hey, for this date, what is the first reading, second reading, Psalm, Gospel? Flow it right in here and fill it in for them. Then they get to say, okay, now I want to do a question. So they take this as the text box. They can drag it in here. And they can just type in what their question is. Or they could do a reflection or something about that. And they could just cycle around and keep doing, okay, what's the next verse? And keep doing the questions. And I added in here, they can put in like if they have a little logo or graphic they want to put in there to support it. Or they want to put in, I didn't do that job here, but they could put in I want to make this just lines, rule lines, to be a journal entry so they can write it themselves.
Text blocks.
Yeah, well, just lines, because I'll get to you later about the line thing. But they can also just put in their own notes. It's supposed to say leader notes. But anyways, their notes that only they see for it. But the students in the study don't see it. And then I even put in here a thing that they could put in their own web links if they want to, or there's a few other areas here. So they can just build their Bible study this way. And actually, I'm going to call this, it doesn't have it on here, but I'm going to call this build their scripture stack. Yeah. And then they can, okay, I'm done. Then they can say, get a preview. And it'll show them what is this going to look like in all their different formats. On a desktop screen, on a mobile screen, or even I can make it into a slide deck. Okay. Or what's the 8.5 by 11 formatted version going to look like? or a half-size version. What's going to look like, or even a printout as spreads like this. They can print up on their little desktop printer. They'll already be collated, so they can print up like 3 or 4 sheets, fold them, and it's a booklet. So that'll, they may want to do some modifications, go back and change things around, and when they're done, they can hit publish, and they can say, publish the student version. And what it'll do, it will, it doesn't have it on here, but it'll basically send out an HTML of an HTML line, which will point to all of these here. So you can just send it via email or text or whatever. So bring them up to the actual study as an HTML page. And when someone's on that page, they can choose to, if they don't like it on the phone, there'll be an option there that they can print one of these themselves. Do you follow?
Yeah.
So this makes it real easy to.
And are you going to make this? It's going to be cross-platform for.
Oh yeah.
All different systems. That's a big task.
Well, it's going to, and actually, I threw this idea into the AI chat about it because as I'm building this there, I talked about how about I do vibe coding with it, and how would I do it, and it came up with yes, you can, and how to do it, and all the steps, and asked how much time it would take to put in there, but it would be iOS, it'd handle a desktop web browser, and it built it all native so to work on all different platforms, Android and iOS and different browsers, all built into it. And then another iteration, it's like, because I'm part, or this organization kind of is using this core concept. And this is, you can see here, like the Bible study building, that's just like a basic Bible study format. Yeah. But we can do it like I'm in this Inferno Men's organization, you can build a template that has their way of doing it in there. Because we have this other thing, we have a few other things we do the gospel reading for the upcoming Sunday in it. But then we throw in something called Lectio Divina, which is a type of prayer, and small group discussion, and we have prompt questions and things like that. So you can kind of like get in here and say, okay, hey, I want to do it with their format, their style.
Now does Google or Microsoft have a style guide for doing this kind of thing?
Well, actually, you can create your own.
I know, but to use the way that in Google, as they change things, they make it easy for everybody because they've got in the background a style guide that somebody's looking at, so that as something new comes out in Google, they don't need to give you instructions. You just know how to do it. Or in Microsoft.
Yep. So I asked it. I asked the chat. I threw in a whole bunch of information. How can I vibe code, with these parameters? And it shows me step by step how to do it. And basically, I can have like everything that you see here was built from this. I just was refining it some, but it was built from this document. I told it, hey, here's the stuff I'm thinking about doing. And I brought it into, here's the Google LM Notebook. Have you used that? Have you used Notebook LM?
Yeah, I downloaded it. I haven't really played with it. I downloaded it.
So very simply, the way it works is on the left side here, you can add whatever source you want. If I hit add sources, you can just have it do a Google search, or you can put in your own files from wherever you want.
Yeah.
And you can put in audio or video. and it'll transcribe it.
Yeah.
Or see it and do things like that. So you can now with the free version, the limit is 50 sources. Because I'm using the Google Workspace paid, I get like 200 sources I can use. And so what it creates here in the middle is a whole chat bot. So you can ask a question about any of the sources. Okay. And so you can see here, I can say, how can I create something using vibe code and create? This is like what I asked it. I asked about vibe coding first and then as a source. So it developed this whole thing about how to do it. It's a detailed list that I can copy and paste and make into a Google Doc or use whatever I want. And then I asked it, how much time should it take to do this project? And gave me this very thorough answer about how to do the prototyping and everything for it. With there too, all the phasing and how to do this. And then, yeah, this is something that's accessible to the desktop browser. Yes. And so it gives all the exhaustive answers about that, like you're talking about, all that stuff. Yeah. So, and actually then up here on the right, you can do outputs. So this is what for instance, there's the infographic. This is an infographic here. I said, here's the prompt. Make user workflow. I said, this is my prompt. Make your user workflow that shows all the screens and options for a Bible study leader application Google Doc. That was my prompt.
Yeah.
And it created this diagram here for the infographic prompt. So if I create a new one, this is for creating a new one. You can choose some other details, whether it's detail standard, orientation for it, language. I can just put the prompt in here.
That's amazing.
And like the podcast I sent you, I have a whole other notebook for the ZitaKids. Let's see. Let me switch out. ZitaKids Marketplace. So put in all different sources. I was at the limit of the sources there. And one of the outputs I had was creating an audio. You can see here all these options here. Audio overview. So I said, okay, audio overview, which is that podcast you listen to. So here's my prompt. Create audios. I said, you have it oriented towards potential investors, all the point how people get involved, getting this kicked off by purchasing Zeta founding coins, use I don't know what style to make it. I mean, that wouldn't probably really matter because that's all visual design. But stuff there. So that was my prompt that it built that podcast you listened to from.
Amazing.
And created an MP3 from it, which I loaded up to Spotify. I also had it. Have you done any image generation prompts?
Have I gotten any? No, not yet.
Have you tried to create images? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So I use this to say, hey, create those images you see in the podcast.
Oh, yeah. The last program was all the images. Yeah, the text and the images. Yeah, I got that.
So those were I told it build an image generation prompt that's based on that audio.
Yeah.
And it created it. So I took that prompt then and put it into Gemini or I have Firefly image generation prompts. And so it created those for me, all based on.
Amazing.
And the only thing I think I've really been paying for is just, I have this Google Workspace account that I'm paying $13 a month for now for my business. So really, but also I had it create for me a, like I created a, what's it called? A master, basically for the ZitaKid thing, I created a master strategic plan
Mhm.
for it. I mean, actually, I first threw all my ideas, all these sources and things like that, and I threw it into the notebook. And I said, create for me a master strategic plan. And so I took all of that and formatted it for me. So yeah, now I'm starting to do versioning. I'm doing changes as I'm having ideas.
Mhm.
I will tell it, my prompt will be, hey, okay, here's the idea. Like for instance, if I had like, what would happen if I wanted to, like doing financial modeling? What if I made it that the host for a Zeta community was paid based on the membership inside of the people inside the community, and give me a 5-year model about how it would change that. And it did it all. And I say, and how about the Zeta coin? So I was doing all this like modeling, but I would go in there and change the document, changed all the appropriate places and stuff like that, and organized it. So I've been like, so if I want to do a change into something, I'll just put it into the prompt and say, add this idea to it, go and put it in the right way and place and stuff like that. And so I can use, so I'm using it to create this like central document.
Mhm.
And then from this, I can then use it for other outputs. Because like I was talking about, okay, what kind of, for ZitaKids Master Marketplace, what kind of organizational structure should ZitaKids have and each of the communities have? And based in Colorado. And it came up, yeah, it should be a public benefit corporation for the parent corporation, and then all the child organizations should all be something called a series LLC type entity. And then it said, do you want to create articles of incorporation for all these? And it did it. So it created it filled it all out for me for article of incorporation, organizational structure, things like that. And says, okay, go to the Colorado website now and register it for $50. And here's all the stuff to put in there.
Amazing.
And then, but I could use this to, I could use this as my prompt and I could use this to feed into, actually I did that. I could use this to feed to build an app with vibe coding. And so that's like, so I asked it for this, well, you don't even, sorry, you can't see the screen, sorry. You weren't seeing my screen, were you? Oh, I was talking all about.
I'm still there with the original screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so here, Notebook LM. Side, which shows all my sources, all the inputs. In the middle here is the chat. So I can ask it chat questions about that. So I can ask it all sorts of questions about things I've done. And over here, here's my outputs, the studio, the audio.
Yeah.
So for instance, like the podcast, here's all the things that it creates.
Yeah.
So here's the
Whoops, your connection's going bad.
Here's on a page. That's one of the audio created.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the prompt. Here's the prompt: create an audio overview that covers each question in the Zeta community member Q&A. I created a whole Q&A document for it, so I created a podcast out of that.
Amazing.
But here's like the audio that you heard, and yeah, I don't. Okay, here's the one I think. Yeah, I created for the podcast you listen to, but yeah, it was like a prompt here. And that's so it created an MP3 file that I uploaded to Spotify, and I used create a prompt for this image generation prompt, and I just copied and pasted that prompt into Gemini for creating an image and off to the races. But then it created these. Yeah, here's some of the documents it created. Okay, here's my. Let me get back to. Yeah, here's my master strategic plan that it created. So then I go into what I told it to do in Zeta Marketplace. I said a prompt said, hey, based on this document, I want to do these changes, create a new one. So I'll go and create a new one and do all the changes appropriate, like, hey, I want to change it so that I had an operational cost of for the first year instead of $500,000, $1 million. And how does that affect the modeling? It's like, here's one of the models. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Amazing.
So there's the model. It shows different things, and then here it shows like, yeah, the whole model is changed around. Then we're back to communities, gives me all the metrics for things. And with the financial solvability of the organization, assuming all these other parameters.
Assumptions, right? Yeah.
So
Your video's going bad. Are you still online? You're really slow. You still there? Can you hear me? You're frozen. You're frozen. I'm not hearing you. Talk.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm on fiber
that's a little
optic.
better.
Okay.
Yeah, now there's just a big lag between your audio and your video, but that's okay.
Mhm. So I also used it to create a one of the other options is a slide deck.
Huh?
So here's just like a slide deck I can deliver in a presentation.
Yeah.
For it.
Amazing. Yeah, that looks like like some of those are ones that I saw, but some are different.
Yeah. Well, I also created a, with my graphic design background,
Mhm.
I use this to create the whole branding style guide. So, so here, I created this image. I said, create a branding style guide.
Yeah.
For this. And so I
Amazing.
created this. It's just basically an image showing all different things of what it looks like. And then I told them, okay, create the infographic using this as my branding style guide.
Yeah.
Well, I can say,
have you gotten any sleep in the last week with all this fun?
oh, I got a whole, yeah, I mean, yeah, so I can like very quickly kind of deliver some concepts to people and organize these thoughts and bounce things off. And approach objections or things like that. And it creates something that, looks like a complete product, give people an idea. And then do it via podcast or visuals, or even learn things from a talk track, learn what are talking points, what are these people going to do, things like this. And so this Google LM is just an amazing tool. And so for this Bible, since I'm not really a coder, I mean, I know some of the premises, stuff like that. So I actually have, for this here, I have a friend I know from church. He's like he's a app developer for USA Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
They're based here in Colorado Springs. And I've been talking to him about stuff and things like that. I saw him this morning and showed him this. And so I'm going to, for this, and I'm going to, in a way, kind of like partner with him, offload the coding and stuff like that. Because he's starting to do vibe coding and stuff like that at his work. And he's a lot more sophisticated on it.
Yeah.
So he's like, so he's going to take this. I'm going to give him my source document. Here it is, here's my source document. Here, I just started doing some modifications to it. But I use this to create this whole workflow chart.
Yeah.
And I use this to say, hey, what would it take to create an app for this? And so I use that to source all the stuff. And just have like 2-3 pages worth of stuff. And I'm going back in and I'm just doing some more modifications, adding some features. I'm going to label them as far as priorities, put colors on them.
Yeah.
Saying like the MVP, the first one, this is essential, color coded. So then I'm going to say, okay, let's create the app and make it so these features are in there, but just kind of leave marks, a space holder for it just being a future feature. So I create it like that, and then when I get time to develop that. So it's all from like this simple little document. It just does stuff. And also, now, this way of building a Bible study, I mean, I think it's pretty novel. And so actually I talked to my friend Art Nutter about this morning. He thought it was cool. And he said, Tim, go and just file for a provisional patent on it. Do that today on it. Because part of me, I'm thinking like, if someone sees this, they could easily do it themselves.
Yeah, they could.
Right. So I want to, so keep this a secret, Dad.
Yeah.
With all the people, I'm going to talk to my customer about it today. And then actually I was thinking about like what the vision I have for it, like they just asked me to do a layout for a book here. But I think what I'm going to give them, I'm going to offer them this. And just like, in a way, it's kind of an analogy. You give a man a fish, feed him for a day, give him a fishing pole. I think they're asking for a fish from me for this. I think with this could be like a whole fishing boat and crew. And I'm thinking I'm going to charge them for the amount for a fishing pole. Because what I'm thinking, what I can do is I can build this as an app structure on there. Because one of the things is getting all the licensing for all the versions of the Bible.
Yeah.
It's like Emmaus Journey, they own the license. They have permissions
to
publish that. So I can start with them with that version of the Bible that they have, the RSBCE. I can start with that and not violate any copyrights and things like that for that too. And there's another version they have too that they have the rights for. But I can go to, but you know, so this is develop this for them first.
Yeah.
And I'll cover all the licensing, permissions, and stuff like that. Because they have the rights to do it this way. But I can go then to the licensing. Well, I'm thinking about going to the owner of the different versions of the Bible, and approach them saying, "Hey, I would like to license your Bible and distribute it this way, become the exclusive distributor in this forum, and pay you for every time somebody uses it. Basically, when they hit the print, publish it."
But
Or,
they can make their money off selling it, so they probably more want a license from you, but that's up to them.
well, I'm saying like I will pay. Yeah, I'm saying like work it out that, you know, because licenses you can do any kind of way.
Mhm.
You know, because
They have the customers. They're going to want to sell it to customers.
right. But I'm saying I would like to. I want to be exclusive. That I'm the only person that will get your content this way. They gave me all, because I'm going to have to convert it all into, I don't know if you're familiar with XML or
Yeah.
JSON. I'm going to take their content and convert it all into JSON, so they could all be reformatted for all these different formats and stuff like that. And then basically then I can make it all, it's all like all the way to here, it's kind of watermarked and stuff like that, limited version, stuff like that. When they print, that's the time that I can say that's the time that we can charge them, charge the customer to do this or not, but all within the licensing. But here's a way to distribute your content. You are just collecting the money. You get a piece of it.
They have the customers. So
Right.
They're going to want to license.
No. They don't have customers. They have content. They have their own customers. They have customers for the content provided in their format, whether it's a book or a website. They own that.
Yeah.
They own.
But they're selling hundreds of thousands of copies of it.
Yeah, in print. And that's one way.
And in digital.
In digital. Now with the in digital, this is like a lot of these Bible publishers, they actually give like free rights to publish in limited forms. Yeah, you know, they're like, hey, as long as you're not publishing more than 500 words at a time, you don't need a license or anything. That's the way I think a lot of these Bible publishers work. So they're not really, so there's a whole bunch of things they aren't getting now. And so even too, I think even I could probably even, with those ones that are offering that, I could probably even operate within those parameters without anything. Because I'm only doing a small section at a time. And I could check to make sure I'm not violating it. But I could go to them, hey, here's an opportunity though, to those people that want it formatted in this method to possibly get some income.
It just seems to me that they're going to want to have the exclusive right. They're not going to give up the rights to anybody else to sell their product. They will want to license your formatting and pay you.
No. I'm saying I'm like when you buy content, what they license is their content. They have some formats it's in. I mean, it's like, but when I license something, when I buy something, you know, it's like, you know, Disney with licensing. You know, for that image, you're buying the right to use it in this form, and you're paying Disney for using Mickey Mouse on the mug. You're just doing it in a different form, and you're paying Mickey Mouse. I'm doing the same thing. I want to use your content, and I pay you for doing it in this format.
Okay.
Like a format that they did not have an ability to get paid for before.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing where they're going to want to do that, but maybe so.
They still do everything they have. I mean, and especially if they have this like 500 word limit rule,
Mhm.
I don't technically even need their permission. I can just go do it and they get nothing. So I'm saying yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'd be all legal to do it in this form I'm talking about here too. I'm offering them another channel that they can start to get something about it and get some more controls over who's actually using it and things like that, because I'd be able to monitor who's publishing it and things like that. And even like with the Emmaus Journey now, they're just offering a PDF for free and they don't know who's even using it or active with it, things like that. Because I could put another layer onto this, if you're a Bible study leader, you can go and publish it. And I just adding there that they could say, okay, I created this Bible study. I can now schedule a Bible study and then, hey, the Bible study is ready, and set up the time and date and place and send an email invite to them and or text message. Here it is. And to like market the Bible study, and here's the material if you want, or just release the publishing of it at today, the Bible study, all sorts of other things there. But to encourage engagement in the Bible study, make it easier for the Bible study leader to focus on the content of the Bible study.
Yeah.
And not deal with all the other marketing or even all the formatting and all these other things there. That's what this app does. It's making it very simple to do the boring stuff of formatting and things like that. Because with this now, the leader can just, pull up, okay, here's the scripture I want, and they, come in all formatted, maybe licensed right or things like that. And they can just go in and type in their questions they want to do for it, things like that. And okay, time for the Bible study. I can now, so we're all looking at the same reading at the same time or something like that. Or I can have notes for them or prompts or things like that, or images or something like that that's on to help do the passage. So that's like just kind of like gives, it creates just a whole, I guess, it's a way to, I see this as a way to help people engage in different ways.
That all's good. It just matter who you sell it to. It just seems like the author or the owner of the works wants the biggest piece, and so he'd rather pay you for your piece, so he has control of the customers.
Well, see, that's the reason I'm talking about, like, I can make a version, but basically I sell this infrastructure, or I license this infrastructure, make a version that's branded for them.
Yeah, you license the infrastructure to them. They handle the sales.
Right. Basically, these are like these different ministries. Like this is basically the customer. I'm going to create a version that's custom for them first, Emmaus Journey.
Yeah, and they're going to license you to use your format, and they're going to sell it.
Yeah. They have total control over their customers.
They got to have total control of their customers. Yeah.
Right. I just built this thing for them. Their customers, how they share it, that's totally up to them.
Yeah.
What I license is the underlying structure.
Yeah.
To use it, and I can go to the different, Christian organizations that do Bible studies and say, here's something you can do. This is basically something to help you to enable your small group leaders.
But the owner of the material are the ones that are going to want to make that sale, not you. They're going to want to license what you have and pay you. That's fine, but they're not going to want you going to the customer.
No. You keep on talking about like the owner of the content,
Mm-hmm.
the Bible publishers.
Yeah, Bible publisher, yeah.
They own the content.
Yeah.
And then the way to make money on it is by selling it in print.
Okay.
Okay. I'm talking about them. This is a way for them to make money of that same content.
Mm-hmm.
Without having to do any cost for the format. They don't. They basically. I will just pay them for their content. This is a different format where I'm just changing the format of their content around.
Okay. Doesn't quite. I'm not quite comprehending it. Why they would give up their end customers? It seems like they're going to fight like devil to keep their.
Okay. Maybe the word you're using is like worried about it cannibalizing their customer base.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They don't want that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like, hey, why should I buy a print Bible if I already get it through this app?
Yeah, exactly. And so they're not going to give that up. So
well, right now, because a lot of them have like a 500 word limit at a time you can publish. They already are.
But
they already are.
But you're not limiting yourself to 500 words.
What?
How are you limiting yourself to 500 words?
I'm saying there are these Bible publishers that they will go after you. Two of them I was looking at. They said that you can use all this Bible material all you want. You don't have to permissions up to 500 words. If you want to use more than 500 words, let's talk. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe, okay. So there's already people doing that now. There's thousands of people that are copying out of text.
Sure. You get quotes everywhere, of course.
Yeah, quotes everywhere. So tons of people are doing that. And they're having to go and make a photocopy or type it in or something like that to get those words.
Yeah.
They have to manually do that. And so what I'm doing is making it really easy for those people to get those words. I'm able to track who's getting those words. And then, and maybe like like the version that I created, the first version of this has limits because this would make, I could probably create this, get it all working, and use it and allow people to create, like, they have a limit of one Bible study a week they can do. That's a free version. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if they want to do more than that, I can say, well, pay me $10 a month to do that. Okay. And then so doesn't cost me any more to enable them to do more. But now they're paying me for it. And then so I'm getting paid. The publisher, the content owner, they're not getting paid anything still, right?
They don't for people that are are getting Bible studies and so on, they're having to pay the publishers because they have more than 500 words. They're getting money out of that.
Okay, well, those are ones that are publishing whole Bible study books and things like that. Yeah, that's there too. But I'm talking about just like the small person, the individual person.
Mhm.
You know, they're creating their own.
So
Does that-
I have a couple of Bible apps on my phone, Terracotta and some others, and I have to pay for the publisher for that version.
for the whole Bible, you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's because you have,
But I'm not
yeah,
looking at more than 500 words at a time, but I have access to all of it.
yeah. So you're paying for that, right? Yeah, when you pay for it, it gives you access the whole time to it.
To the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like I'm doing your
I've got 2 or 3 apps that are Bibles that do that.
because I guess yeah, I have to look more.
It just seems that you've got a framework that all the publishers, if it's better than what they have now, that they would pay you to provide their framework that they can distribute. But
Right, and that's what this would be, you know.
but they're not going to give up their customers. They're not going to let you sell.
No, I'm not asking them to give up customers. I'm not asking them at all. I'm not asking them to give up customers. I mean, like, you're talking about like, their print customers. I mean, the customers that buy it in the format that they're providing now, whether it's a book or an app. I'm not.
They all have digital versions, don't they?
Yeah. So I'm not asking them to give up those customers at all. That's their channel. And maybe if I keep within, and maybe I don't even need to talk to them. If I look at all of them and make sure I'm within that 500 word
Because
limit.
it just seems to me that they all have existing digital apps that they're selling
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
and you used to have a better one. And so they're going to say, okay, we'll pay you for your app, but we're going to keep, but you can't sell anything. You have to let us sell it, and
Well,
we'll
it could
pay
be. I
you.
mean, like, talk about there's different versions of the Bible I have on here.
Mhm.
I could say, yeah, I could say like, you know, whatever the New American Version or all the different versions. Those are each different publishers, and I can, you know, I don't I have to look into it, but I don't think it'd be violating anything if I'm only using 500 words at a time. Um, but I can say that, hey, if you want to use my base for it, and you know, take this and turn off the feature for other versions of the Bible. Fine. You can use all the other things there, and you just pay me per, you know, I'll charge you per user or whatever.
Look at TECARTA. That's one of the ones I have. Look at what they're doing.
TE
CARTA. That's a digital format. And they have licenses.
TCRA.
Yeah,
That correct?
TECARTA.
TECARTA.
Mm-hmm.
TEC. Carta?
Mm.
Yeah, it seems like the Carta Bible app.
Yeah. So they have many different versions of Bible that you pay for, and it's their format,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to pay for each version that you want to use.
Okay. I'll look at them.
Yeah.
See, it looks like what I'm, the devotion, maybe like the unique thing that I'm doing, I'm layering onto it is I'm making it as this is something that'll enable a Bible study leader.
Yeah, you've got uniqueness to the Bible study leader, but they're doing it for the Bible, but with all the references and everything tied into it.
Yeah, and I can add,
You have all
other, I have another options tools I can add on there for having, like they have their looks like life application study Bible with looks like it has some images and things like that, and I can easily incorporate all that as part of it. The Bible study, like maps are really useful in studying the Bible.
Sure.
And so I can put those features in here, and I can like license, like for instance, the images they have in there. I could say, hey, I can add that as here. I can license from them using their images in this app and pay them for it. It's like repurposing into a different way. Because it looks like these are all based on just like a particular whole Bible.
And then of course the other one I use is the Our Daily Bread. Our Daily Bread is a devotional every day, and it has all. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yeah, that's a good piece. Yeah, and we have a few of those in the Catholic Church. Magnificat has daily reflections and readings and stuff like that. I mean, this could be used to create your own Our Daily Bread.
Yeah.
You just provide it with your own content.
And that's what you're providing is a framework that other people can use universally. That seems
right. Right. My real customer, you might say, my main user of this is a small group leader.
And all I'm suggesting is that rather than you selling it, you could license it to everybody if it's good, and they could do the selling, and you don't have to worry about customers other than.
I'm not worried about customers. My customers, I'm not worrying about the end customer. That's whoever is the organization that licenses with me. That's up to them.
Okay.
I'm just looking at it. I'm not gonna. I guess my customers are potentially like these the content providers.
Right.
I'm trying to align. Actually,
There's
going to be a dual relationship with the content providers. I'm going to, I will license to them, the people that own the content, this tool for them to use with their customers however they want.
Yep.
And I'll build it, I'll white label it, I'll build their branding and style or however they want.
So they pay you a royalty based on their either fixed price or their sales.
Yes.
You only have the original content provider as your customer, so you don't have to license anything from them.
No. I mean, it could be, but they do have content. I take their content and use, I get their source content, because I could easily format it.
But you get their source content, but you can't sell it to anybody except them.
Unless it's like if they have an existing deal that, hey, if it's 500 word chunks, less than 500, I can.
You'd have to negotiate with them on that, but
saying this is kind of a new a different licensing paradigm.
Mhm.
That's, you know, that we build I think, I mean, maybe it's already done, but there's a new kind of licensing structure that I think enables the content providers, especially if these are all Christian, because my minimum viable product, it's all going to be on the Catholic Bible.
Yeah.
Which is, or there's 2 version Catholic Bible, which is already covered by this organization. And I know how the Catholic Church operates because they own the licenses for some of these versions of the Bible.
Mhm.
And so I know, and just like when I work for Ascension, you know, like the Ascension versions of the Bible, you know, they did a licensing deal that was new because before Ascension created, there's this thing called the Great Adventure Bible. I don't know if I've ever showed it to you, but the Catholic Church in the United States was printing their own Bibles, had their own publishing operation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They had a staff like 100 people just dealing with the printing of the Bibles and distribution, and they were losing a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
Then Ascension came to them and said, "Hey, we'll publish it. We'll just pay you a licensing fee for using the content." And now, so they've actually dropped their staff down to 10 people, and now they just get a royalty fee from Ascension.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than they were getting before. So I'm kind of, yeah, I'm offering them 2 things. I'm offering a new vehicle for them to distribute their content in this platform.
And then so Ascension could be your customers, that you're giving Ascension a better way of distributing. So you
Well,
can sell your rights.
they don't own the Bible,
I
the
know.
rights. They just license it.
Yeah. But if I say, but if you gave them a tool that they could sell a lot more Bibles with, they would pay you for the tool.
No, but the way that Ascension's doing it, they have an app.
Mhm.
And then you have Jeff Cavins.
On from Halo, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. He does the daily readings, but he's provided a lot of Bible the content for Ascension.
Okay.
So like there's the Great Adventure Bible. It built on there. It's called the Revised Standard Edition, Catholic Edition.
Hmm?
That is the rights to that Bible is owned by the United States Council of Catholic Bishops. It's owned by the church.
Okay.
So we use those words from it. Then we have all this other documentation about it written by Jeff Cavins for all his commentaries and insights and things like that. So we've let me grab one. So here is, it's called the Great Adventure Bible.
No.
It says here, this is the version of the Bible, Revised Standard Version, Second Catholic Edition.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the words in here, all the Bible words in here, Ascension is paying a license to the United States Council of Catholic Bishops.
Mhm.
And so they're paying every time we sell one, the United States Council of Catholic Bishops gets a fee or gets money. So,
And I suspect that the church has made it so that they won't sell it to other people where they have some rights that they can have some exclusivity.
yeah. Like when you do like a long form, yeah, they sold the license to the same words to several organizations. It's probably like 100, 200, or more than that, probably more than that. But also for these words, they already said, if you use less than 500 words, you don't need permission.
Yeah.
But in this form, we put, the organization of it, of the timeline on in there. We put our own illustrations and pictures and commentary and all these things on it.
Yeah.
That's all Jeff Cavins that did this and organized it and does this format and stuff like that. So this is like, a way of presenting the Bible that Jeff Cavins came up with that we're promoting, and this has been kind of Ascension's core product.
Yeah.
And built all sorts of things. And my father, Mike Schmidt, when he did the podcast, Ascension created it for free, and he does a commentary with every day for Bible in a Year. And so even like, I think, and because we already had and I think they probably worked out the licensing rights for Father Mike in the podcast to read it or something like that. So I think we probably pay for those rights or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what the licensing is for those things. And so, what I'm proposing is, giving it to them, basically, building a structure. Here's it's the target customer, instead of just being an individual, like all these Bibles are for an individual. And like you talk about like Bible study series, you have those books,
And so if you could sell your software to 25% of those 100 people that have licensed the Bible from the church, you'd have a very good business. And
yes.
And you don't have to worry about any end customers.
No, I'm not. They're not my customer. Yeah, those aren't the people I'm going after.
So Ascension and some percentage of all the other people that have licensed the Bible, those are your customers. To use your software so they can sell.
Yeah. They're people. I mean, I would say the primary user of this product, it's not necessarily the one who pays for it, but the user is a Bible study leader.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that Bible study leader is usually part of some organization.
Yeah.
So
some church. A church is buying it for the Bible study leader.
Or someone, or even someone who, I'll just call it someone that has who's a leader in the church that does Bible studies. Or they like that someone that wants to lead a Bible study.
You get a Bible study leader in a church, they're going to say either for the 20 people that are coming to my class, you go to Amazon and you buy this, or they're going to say I bought 20 copies and I'll sell them back to you. One way or the other.
Are you talking? Say that again.
You're setting up a Bible study at the church, and you need material. So you're either going to go buy 20 copies for everybody, and then ask either the church or the people to repay you, or you're going to tell them to go to this source and.
Oh yeah. So what I'm saying, like the Bible study leader could say, "Hey, I'm going to buy. I have 20 people in my group.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay, and we'll just say like Ascension,
right?
Or let's say, what's your church? What's your church name?
First Presbyterian, yeah.
First Presbyterian. First Press. Okay, we have 20 people in the group, and I'll like.
Sometimes First Press will go out and buy 20 copies or 30 copies. And
Yeah. Say like, but go to like, like the Presbyterian church or your denomination may have created some Bible studies.
Yeah.
And so like the content, and basically they could just say, hey, here's the content for doing a Bible study. And they've used this app to create it. And they give this to the leader. So it's all, and they hit like preload it for the study. Here's the stuff for the Bible study series we're going through. And then the leader can just like put in a few, if they want to have their own little personal notes or something like that, put notes in there for their leader. For the leader to put in there that only he sees. And then when he rolls up and then pays for 20 copies to do this or whatever, and then he's able to create it and then schedule, email it, print it, or whatever. Too. He's paying, we'll say $1 a person. Hey, I want to distribute 20 people to this. And it's all like within the license and stuff like that. It's a lot cheaper to do, and you could print out yourself if you want. But that's like, it's on the leader or the organization. Yeah, I could, but basically, I could have like, basically, I probably would have it on the website. An individual can do this themselves. But those won't be my main customers. But this is all be just very generic. I'll have it all within the licensing that I can do. Someone can go in there and just create it themselves. And I just kind of limit it to maybe like allow them to create one Bible study a week.
I think that's the area you need to think through.
Well, yeah, but that's not my primary customer. But to get an organization to say, hey, we created these Bible studies that we want our leaders to do. So I want to and we create custom formatting and labeling and things like that to do it in our structure that we want to do the Bible study in. And so basically they would have their own app for their organization that they give to all their leaders to use. The engine would be my app. It'd all be invisible to them. It's all branded for their organization. And so they pay me like a.
I think you got to think through that carefully. You're getting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think you're.
It seems to me that the Bible study leader is not. It would be a hard sell for you to find all those Bible study leaders to sell to. Your better customer is the present presses, like Ascension and the other 50 and the other 50.
No, but the problem is like Ascension is not. They don't own the license to the Bible.
But they have a license for it. And
I can just go straight to the United States Council of Catholic Bishops and get the license. This is all like the owner of the content of the Bible, the words.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, they're making money by selling the print Bible in that format. They own the content. They have the rights to sell it in whatever format or license it, whatever they want.
And they have a digital content too.
Yeah.
And if you have a way of giving them a better digital content, they're going to say, we'll pay you for it.
Right.
And the customers.
And I'm offering them a format, a different format,
right,
to sell it in for them.
Yep.
Whether it be the Bible's direct customers. So we have, the Life Bible here. But all this really is, it's something like, there's this Life Bible, but if it wanted to make it something that was, would enable a Bible study leader to lead a Bible study, right, and using all the content out of here.
Yep.
That's what.
So sell it to Terracotta, sell it to Ascension, sell your rights to all these people that you got something better than they've got, and they can yours without having to hire people to do it, and they'll sell Bibles and they'll pay you. They're your customers.
Yeah, and I create a version that's theirs that they sell.
Yep.
And they pay me.
Yep. And you don't have to worry about customers.
No, yeah. I'm not worried about end customers, not the Bible study leader. I mean, that's each organization, that's their
customers are the Bible study leaders.
Yeah, the Bible study leaders, and they're about enabling their leadership, their Bible study leaders to go out and lead Bible studies.
Yep.
This is a tool that helps them do that.
And so if you sell to Ascension and you sell to all these other people your system for doing that, they're going to sell a lot more, and they're going to pay you.
Yeah. You keep saying Ascension.
Well,
but it's
all the licensees of the Bible, if you will, that are distributing it.
But it's like the content. It's like the words of the Bible. I don't. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't really. I guess there's. Like the churches. Those are all, what's it called? Boots on the ground organization. They're interacting with the local community.
Sure.
They're the ones out there organizing. They're the ones that are like usually are enabling Bible study leaders.
Yeah.
So they want to do whatever. So they and those churches could be just totally independent, non-denominational churches.
Yeah, but every flavor you can ever imagine exists.
Right. Or, like the Catholic Church. Very structured.
Some are part of structured denominations, and some aren't. Some are standalone. Some are some guy who said, "Sell me a license from online, and I'm going to create my church."
Yeah. So, but, and so, yeah, so the person, so going from just like the total independent, non-denominational church, I'm assuming they all are using some sort of mainstream Bible.
Most of them. 99%, yes. There's a few oddballs, but yes, you're right. Absolutely.
So this is something that would let them easily use whatever the mainstream Bibles are.
Yeah.
And they can create their own. And I kind of like give it like a very basic structure. And so they could probably, the version I have there, I mean, they aren't really my main target market. But provide a tool just for anybody to just go in there and use it. Has the basic features, and then, limited to something like that. That's at one level. But then like if the Presbyterian Church said, hey, we want to create a Bible study that's for all of our churches to use. And for all the...
And they have a publishing arm that does that, just like the Catholic Church does.
They have a what?
They have a publishing arm that does that.
Right. So that publishing arm say, here's... And they're publishing their books. Like say, here's another way.
No, that's your customer, the ones that have that whole publishing arm, and all the other people that are publishing to many churches. Those are your customers. Not
right. Okay. You're talking about, you're talking about paying customers.
Yes.
Versus the end customers, which may not be paying or not.
Right. Paying customers are going to
pay.
The ones that are going to pay are going to be the people that have the end customers that they don't want to give up. They want more of.
Right.
And
that's my target market.
So that could be the Catholic Church if they've turned it over to Ascension or others now. But other than
allow somebody, even if let's say, I mean, there's in all these organizations, there's a leader, predominant leader,
Mhm.
and they want to create their own Bible study.
Yeah.
So they can create their own branded Bible study
They do.
with this very quickly and do it and then distribute it to whoever they want.
Yeah.
But just allow them as the
And that's
content creator.
that's what I'm saying. It's the people that are creating those, whether they be a denomination or a publisher, not the end person who's doing the Bible study itself, not the Bible study leader.
I mean, yeah, it could be, but there aren't that many of those.
So I think there's a lot of them. You said there were 100 people that licensed the Bible from the Catholic Church. I would suspect there are only a few that would be.
Oh yeah,
big.
yeah. Okay. I'm just I'm not. Yeah, I mean, organizations that want to enable Bible studies.
Mm-hmm. Your who did you work for in Colorado Springs before?
Cook,
David
C. Cook,
and Ascension and like I say the Presbytery Publishing and those are your customers because they have the end customers they don't want to give up.
Yeah,
and they'll pay you.
Yeah, and it may be if I could approach them, like that's I want to keep this idea undercover because I think like if I showed this, I think if I showed this to any of the other publishers, they could do it themselves.
You have to get it copyrighted or patented.
Yeah, and as I talked to Art, and he said, he said, Tim, copyrighted today, and I already put a copyright on there, and then I could put after I get that date and timestamp from the copyright office.
What I did on my patents, I took my workbooks and got somebody else to sign all the pages of my workbooks. In fact, I had Ernie Seeley do it.
But Art, this is the one I printed and showed Art today. But I put on there copyright 2026, my name on it, confidential, and so I and then he said take this and then register it with the patent office because then you have a year to develop it.
Yeah.
And then also in that year I can find out if there's anybody else already doing this or there is patents on it or what part of this is
that's all standard. Like I say, the ones I did, I just had to have my notebook signed by somebody else. It didn't have to be anybody particular that witnessed it, the date. And so
but I think but Art said $200, you get the date stamp from the patent office.
Yeah.
That's probably even more solid.
Yeah.
And so and I want to because it looks like I'm going to propose to the Emmaus Journey today. I'm going to talk to them about this and talking about them becoming pretty much like a first customer. I build it for them and they pay me for that.
Yeah.
And work out a deal that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be kind of a prototype customer.
They're your customer, and you have lots of other customers like that. That's what I'm suggesting.
And then I can then go to after I build it out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I license license them or whatever to use it.
And they don't get any exclusivity.
Right. Because I take this because I own this. I'm going to license it to them
so they can use it.
So they can use it, and then I can go out to these other organizations.
Yes.
And say, here's a model that I did for this other customer.
Yep. That's it. That makes sense to me.
Mhm. Yeah. So, but yeah, I want to keep this. I'm just thinking about all these things worked out. I want to keep it under wraps until we actually start using it and publishing it.
Yeah, and that
And I've researched all of the content owners.
and then of course what will make you mad is when somebody just changes a couple things and says, okay, I'm not using yours. Mine's unique and different. You got to fight that.
Yeah, that's the reason I want to keep it secret, because I want to make that. I want to win the race by being first to market and the best.
Yeah.
So if I can keep it all secret and keep it all under wraps and do all these things and iterations and refining it and making it better, and yeah, figure out how to own certain spaces really quickly, but make it so that it's just like suddenly boom.
And that's hard. And that's hard
Yeah.
because it takes you time to negotiate with all these other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's the reason I'm talking to Art.
Just once it's published,
And do the whole figure out what things in this are patentable, licensable, things like that. Because I actually asked Google about this. What are the licensing stuff like that? And it actually gave me a whole list about how to patent and what things in this might be patentable, copyrightable. They thought maybe like this concept, the scripture stack, this concept of doing it this way, building it, that might be something that might be able to.
I don't know how much it costs Varian for my patents, but it's not cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason, like, yeah, because Art would talk about all the research and
Art knows all about that.
yeah. So anyways.
And he's the expert at evaluating how much it's worth.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's his space.
Yep.
And so yeah, so I got him on board. He's interested in it. He's trying to
great
work.
Great ideas. I'm not discouraging it all.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting who you think about who your customers are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my customers are not
Bible study leaders.
No, it's the organizations that
sell to them.
That want to enable their Bible study leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Emmaus Journey is publishing Bible study books now.
Yeah.
And this will allow their same material, just offering it in the form it was there before, but in a way that allows.
You got to convince them that it's cheaper to buy it from you than to hire somebody to develop their own.
Yeah. So that's the reason I gotta keep this quiet, and when I approach them, just
totally. I'm sure I told you the story of the Varian couch, and the guy in the professor in Switzerland. Have I ever told you that story? Do you remember it?
No.
Varian had a couch for the accelerator that nobody liked, and especially the Europeans thought it was terrible. It's too sloppy and didn't go high enough. It didn't go high enough and didn't jump didn't go faster than the speeding bullet. All this. So our engineers were working hard on it and spent a lot of money trying to develop an improvement. And Willie Graff or the Varian rep in said, I can't sell this. And so he went out to to a local engineer, and for one hospital, it was money that he basically stole from his budget. He had one built that he sold to a customer,
Uh-huh.
and so after he sold it, he revealed to management what he'd done, and so they sent me and another engineer over to look at it, see what it was, and we looked at it and said, that does pretty much all the things that it's supposed to do. And how did you do this without any money? Because we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it. And so he said, well, I'll take you and introduce you to Rotterdam International. So, okay, that sounds good. So on the way back to Zug, he stops at the store and picks up a couple of tins of coffee. I said, what's the coffee? He says, oh, you'll see. So we drive up to this house, and Uli goes up the front door, and out comes Frau Rotterman, and he gives her the coffee, and a special coffee, and she's so happy and hugs him and so on. And so then we go upstairs to the house, and that's Rotterdam International, is the bedroom of this house, and it's one individual and one man. And so he started going through the features, and every feature he had in it was based upon his mouse making machine, where he created a machine for taking the embryos out of mice for research, and his garbage making machine that he developed for burning garbage, and all these things, all these ideas. That all this was accumulation of things that he'd done, and so for nothing like you're talking about, he created this design and got it built, and it worked, which our engineers had spent huge amount of time trying to. So we ended up buying the rights from them, but it was all portrayed and done by somebody who was really smart. And we gave up the work of our engineers that were sure they could do it better, but we got to overrule them and say it's better to buy it from Rotterman and than to have you design it. They didn't like that at all, but I was recently over to the local hospital, and the basic design hasn't changed in 30 years or 40 years since that happened. They've just made it. It just made some improvements on it, but the basic design is still the same. That's very innovative ideas. But anyway, that's you're being the Rotterman.
Yeah.
Didn't sell any to an end user. He only sold it to Varian, and Varian had all the end users.
Can I show you something else, a totally different way I've been using Notebook LM?
Okay.
So my men's group, Inferno, we have conferences and videos and stuff like that, and we've been uploading them to YouTube. And so here's like one video. It's like a recent thing we did that we posted onto YouTube. And something about posting videos. The videos have thumbnails. So having a good thumbnail helps. And then also for getting noticed, and also having good description down here. And you know about like what watermarks are, or chapters? This here makes it so when you watch the video, it shows the chapters.
Okay.
So but listen, that's the time code. So say what time it starts and that's the name of the chapter.
Okay.
Right in the description.
So
we see that there. And so here's all the chapters.
Okay. Good.
So I through this. So I have the raw video. Okay. That I received and uploaded. And so, but I got to do all this work. I got to create this summary. with the chapter marks
Mhm.
for it, and then also thumbnails for it.
Okay.
Come up with a good title for it that will get some SEO value to it. Okay.
Mhm.
So there's like, I've done this several times. It usually takes me a few hours to do for it. So, so I did this in Google Notebook. So here's like, these are like different videos I've done for it. So I say, here's the video that's uploaded. And I told it, my prompt was, let's see, here's my chat. Okay. Here's a prompt. It's a good video. Make a time stamp transcript. That's not the one. Okay. Make a YouTube summary description and title that's SEO friendly, along with a timestamp for the Inferno Bootcamp Tim Gronkowski video, formatted and ready to copy and paste directly into my video, my YouTube description.
Yeah.
So it created this for me. It found what are like appealing. It wrote it all for me. It broke down the talk to all the sections. It did all of this.
Yeah.
And then it created the timestamps. Here's all the chapter timestamps.
Yeah.
Took me more time to write that prompt than it did for it to create that.
Of course. Of course.
And I was just able to, in that video, here's like the back end, YouTube, copy and pasted it right here.
Yep. Pretty amazing.
And then for the videos, for the thumbnails for it, I told it to, where's it? I told it, find me 3 SEO friendly segments in that video. Give me a time code that'd be good for making YouTube shorts, and give me a timestamp for each segment. Because like we want to pull out what are like 3 good moments in that video.
Yeah.
And we can use that to create shorts. So here it showed, hey, here's like some themes you hit on. Discernment, God's will, spiritual warfare. Here's where it is.
Yeah.
Here's why it's good for that. Why it works, the keywords for it. Here's another one. No app died for that. So I did those. So I can then go and create shorts or videos, like promo ones, or just like a 1 minute long, to promote people to come to this video. And then I said, hey, for each of those segments, create for me YouTube thumbnail, SEO friendly image generation prompt, Gemini Nano Banana prompt, based on option 1, and have it follow my brand style guide in the prompt. Put the Inferno Shield on it, and from the Inferno Shield brand. Also put in a SEO friendly title for this image. So from that, and there's like 2 or 3 tools I can use, but I found I'm using this Adobe tool called Firefly. I created different branding boards.
Yeah.
So I put these prompts in this.
Amazing.
And Yeah, and here's here, and I put in. I took a picture of the person and used that as a reference image. So it actually has to create these 3 thumbnails for me to use, and that's a picture of the actual guy. So it added that stuff on there from those, and the image generation stuff doesn't really do as good with typography.
Mhm.
So I just brought those into InDesign and did the types on them. Yeah, there's like one of the other ones. It wasn't. This is one. I told it use whatever guide, and I told it use the picture of the guy, so I put his picture in there. Make for all of my.
Yeah.
So I just had to substitute out. So this guy use this guy, and I made those into my.
And as this AI gets better and better, these tasks are going to get more and more combined and combined.
Do you know what A/B testing is?
A/B testing?
A/B testing.
Not exactly.
It's like very simply. It's like you have maybe like 2. You're sending out an email, and you have like 2 different headlines you want to use as a subject heading. A/B testing means it'll send them both out, and every other one it'll do a different one.
Oh, okay. And you can see what results are. Okay.
See the results are. So with so for this one, yeah, I created the 3 different A/B test. Oh, it isn't. Anyways, I'm able to put in 3 different images with 3 different titles. And it's doing that now. And it'll give me results. But it shows me that that video I published just yesterday, took me like half an hour, and so there's already 8 views. It's running a test on it. Here's another one I published earlier, 12 view, but I'll be able to. I haven't really pushed it out there yet, but stuff like that, be able to monitor, see what kind of image, kind of headline, stuff like that happened with it. But I got it down to I can take the video and do all this stuff in, probably like half an hour.
Amazing. Well, I better let you get back to work, but that's
Okay.
fascinating stuff, Tim. Proud of you.
Okay. Thanks for showing tell.
Okay.
See ya.
Good.